What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and welcome to another episode of Path to a Million podcast. I reread the bill this morning, and so I took some screenshots of the parts that I think need a little bit more clarification, or things that maybe I wasn't 100% right on at some point. So I'm just going to start going through these. This one's really important for sole proprietorships, independent contractors, and potentially people that pay themselves through distribution. So I wanted to read the exact paragraph where they talk about this. Let me get this off my stand here. All right. Matt Snell, what up, brother? Let's see. Documentation. An eligible self-employed individual, independent contractor, or sole proprietorship seeking a covered loan, meaning the Paycheck protection program, shall submit such documentation as is necessary to establish such individual as eligible, including payroll tax filings, which we've been talking about, reported to the IRS, which we've talked a lot about that, Forms 109, MISC, we've talked about that, and income and expenses from the sole proprietorship as determined by the administrator and the secretary. So this is the part that I think is still yet to be determined. I think the SBA is still, I talked to my banker this morning. Their SBA specialist is supposed to find out more tomorrow, and he thinks that by Wednesday they'll have the application process in place. So I want to say that again: an eligible self-employed individual, independent contractor, or sole proprietorship, which pretty much encompasses every type of chiropractor, seeking a covered loan shall submit such documentation as is necessary to establish such individual as eligible, including payroll tax filings reported to the IRS, Forms 109 MISC, and income and expenses from the sole proprietorship as determined by the administrator and the secretary. So I think that's big news. Again, I still think that the spirit of the law is that they want to keep people making the amount that they were before February 15th, which includes the business owner. I do think that they are going to allow things outside of just like payroll filings and the 1099 form, but it says as determined by the administrator and the secretary. So I think that's the stuff that they're working on right now, that the banks will know more about next week. So it doesn't really matter what you or I think right now. It's going to matter, probably mid next week, what the SBA comes up with, or the Treasury Secretary comes up with, on what exact forms are eligible for sole proprietors, ICs, people that do it, pay themselves through distributions. I'm hoping that like K1 forms, Schedule Cs, maybe even personal tax returns will be eligible. So that was the exact language in the bill itself. Make your determinations off of what that means.